Talking with Greenhills. I'm Kurt Radel from Waycross Community Media. And today we have from Council, Greenhills Council, we have Rachel Hudson joining us. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Kurt.
Well, you're quite welcome. Let's talk about your background, your experience. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I am a single mom of three, ranging from 6 months as of today to 13 years. I used to be a foster parent, which I'll go back to it, but we took a little break. I was a foster parent for 4 years, veteran. I was 12 years Army Reserves locally, never deployed or anything. And I would say that my professional background has either been in finance or primarily nonprofit. I had an interest in council where I was raised at in Hillsborough, Ohio, but I relocated here just when I was getting ready to run. And I was fortunate enough to have a neighbor reach out to me when she was moving to ask if I might have an interest. Outside of that, I've been a resident now for 7 years, and I've loved Greenhills. I was originally going to move to Dayton when I decided to relocate so that me and my boys could have more opportunity, be closer to the city. And thank the Lord the house wasn't ready. So then I stumbled upon Greenhills and fell in love. I was like stalking the neighborhood to see if there were those big long dumpsters out front. And I would literally leave letters like, hey, are you thinking about selling your house? And so we've been here ever since and love it.
Well, it's a great balance, I would imagine a difficult balance of 3 boys ranging from the early 6 months all the way to 13. I mean, that's
I
quite...
got a girl this time.
Girl, one
So
girl.
Yep.
2 boys and 1 girl.
So she has some older brothers that'll look out for her.
Well, they'll look out for her.
Yeah.
But that's got to be quite a balance for you.
Yeah, it definitely is. Working full-time, single mom, homeowner in Greenhills, and taking care of my children, which is my first ministry, and not to mention, sports, extracurriculars, things of that nature. There is a balance, and I'm really grateful for the Village Council, for the police department, the volunteer fire department. They are a blessing, and all of the staff at the Village of Greenhills, especially the village manager. If they didn't have such a well-oiled machine, it would be a lot more difficult and a lot almost impossible to balance, but they make it easy. We've got a good team, I feel.
Well, Rachel, why don't you tell us about why the military experience and what that was like to be in the military, because we thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you for the support, Kurt. And I joined at 17. I had gone to Future Farmers of America. I'm a country girl at heart, raised in Hillsborough, and we were at a national convention for the FFA, and there was a Army stand there where they had a simulation. It was a fun game, and so they got me on the hook, and I filled out the form, and my recruiter that I still speak with to this day harassed me when I was getting ready to turn 17, and I said, well, he must have something important to share with me, and I figured I could, if I'm being honest, stay at home, party this summer, get in trouble, or I could go off to the military, have some discipline, and have a career if I wanted to. And so I decided to go that route, and my grandparents could not have been more proud, more eager to ship me off, especially my grandfather was prior service, Vietnam veteran, and my grandparents had raised me, and he was the captain of the police department where we lived. So it was great. It was such a good experience, so many great relationships, and taught me a lot of the values and morals that I have right now. Like, I'm huge on integrity and things of that nature. So it was a great start for me.
What was your role in the military?
My first one, because I got tricked, was 88 Mike, motor transportation specialist. That was nerve-wracking. Driving all those big vehicles on the road, so intimidating. And so when it came time for my second contract, I reclassed to financial management specialist, and I grew to be a corporal in the Army Reserve. So had some soldiers over me, like team leader, or under me, and over as well. But yeah.
So instead of being a ice road trucker,
you
wanted to finance.
Yes, no ice road trucker.
Well, that was probably a safer way to
It was, yes.
Now, I'm from Greenhills, as you know, and I love Greenhills. I mean, I grew up on June Field for many years and went to Beechwoods Elementary when there was Beechwoods, and then the community building was junior high and so on. So what attracted you to want to be on the Greenhills Council?
Yes, I am all about leaving a community better than what I found it. I'm actually chair over recreation, and I hope to be able, especially in this term, to be able to do something and to leave a mark. And I'm always open and welcome any of the village residents to share with me some of their ideas. We have something that I just announced at the council meeting on Tuesday. We had a resident come and say, hey, we should have a community yard sale and have it on the green and have some trucks, some vendors and things of that nature. And so why not? Let's do it and see what happens. And especially being a mother, I care a lot about the youth and about our next generation. And so I want to be able to lead by example with them and show them that it is important to care about politics. Your vote does matter, and you can make a difference if you devote yourself and put forth the time.
Well, as in the time that I've been covering council, I'll tell you, it's really been a joy to see how people work together.
Yeah.
Mayor Moore has a little bit of history. He knew my mom, he knew my uncle, so we have a history there, but really a good group to work with.
Yes, they're amazing. I love the group that we have up there. When I was in Hillsborough, there was a lot of things that had happened that I saw between the relationship with the police department and when we got a new mayor and things like that. And it was so tumultuous, and it's disappointing because you all have to work together. It reminds me of the military. You all are there for one purpose, and it's to get the job done and get it accomplished for not just yourself, but for other people. And you have to work with people that you might not always get along with. You come from various backgrounds. And so the better relationships you can have and work cohesively and be part of the solution and not the problem, the better off everybody is. So we have a good thing here at Greenhills, I feel.
What do you feel are some of the challenges that are facing Greenhills in the years to come?
Yes, some of the challenges I would say are definitely financial. We see that we are a small village, and so a lot of times people will like to compare and say, well, Wyoming or Blue Ash or these other places are doing so many other things, and they're a lot bigger. We've had an issue with some of the tenants over on the Strip, and some things there. It's hard. Our hands are somewhat tied when we would love to have someone in that really is even local or cares more about the community and isn't just in real estate to make money. But unfortunately, sometimes you don't get that, and we can't just kick them out. So I would say those are some of the issues. And then there's a lot of competition as far as with our fire department and things like that. So we want to do what we can to retain the people that we have and the benefits that we have for our community.
Yeah, I see a couple challenges. One is, as you mentioned, the business district, because when I was growing up as a teenager, I saw how the shopping center was there and the different businesses. Of course, they're going to change during the course of the year, but the overall number has not dramatically increased. What can the council do to try to attract business?
Oh, that is a good question, Kurt. I would think that some of what we can do is maybe something like the community yard sale. We need to get Greenhills on the map. We need to do more to network and to market, if you will, and put ourselves out there. And we need to make it an attractive place for people to want to come in and shop and spend money or go to the park and things like that. And I think the more that we do that and we become more tech forward and utilize technology, just like Waycross, which we're grateful for you all to put our name out there, I think we can bring more businesses. And so far we're doing good. Some of the businesses that are there now, it seems to be great tenants. I know the restaurant that's there. I went in myself, undercover, if you will. Didn't
undercover,
say yes.
huh?
Didn't say who I was. I wanted to see exactly
You didn't have your
how
name
it was.
across the front.
No,
Okay.
exactly. And I was pleased. The owner was the one back cooking. I love somebody that will work from the bottom up, and they don't matter. They don't care about their position. They're not a respecter of persons, and they're not afraid to get their hands dirty. And come to find out, they've been renters since before COVID. So even though they weren't making money on that location, they believed in it enough to continue paying rent. They had to do a lot of repairs on their own, which is unheard of. So I believe that we're looking up, and we have some conversations out there for Malloy's as well. And I think that everyone's going to be happy with some of the new businesses coming in. So we're already in that direction.
Well, it's not like Greenhills is out in the boonies.
Yeah.
It's not way out there. I've been to Hillsborough. That's a drive.
Yes, you know
I know what that's like. But still, centrally located, so it should be attractive to the business community, particularly the small business owner.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that it is, and it should be, and it's just a matter of more people knowing about us and the opportunity.
And the other challenge that I'm looking at Greenhills is you just brought in a new police chief. You replaced Neil Ferdinand, great police chief.
We can't replace him ever,
No,
but
you
yes, we
can't.
had to find somebody to take the position.
He and I go back 20 years. I know what Neil's
Yes.
like. But you brought in a great gentleman to
Yes.
handle it and everything else. But also one of the difficulties is to be able to not only attract talent at the fire level, at the police department level, but to keep them, to retain them.
Yes.
That's got to be a challenge for council.
Yes, yeah, it definitely is. And I think that's another reason why I'm so supportive of the council and the staff that we have with the village manager, because that relationship is vital. And she had a great relationship with Neil Ferdinand, and she has a great relationship with our chief now. And so he wanted to come here, and we were happy to have him. Melanie, that's on council, actually had worked with him professionally where he came from, and we're grateful. And I think that's a big thing too, is the leadership that we have. You know, as long as we have good leadership in those positions, part of their job is to recruit and keep the talent as well. And so I think we're doing pretty good so far.
Well, let's talk about some of the upcoming events.
Yes.
I mean, even though it's a little cold from day to day, we're not that far from summertime. Tell us about some events coming up in Greenhills.
Yeah, so we're always going to have the concert on the Commons. We don't have the full schedule just yet. If anyone wants to go out and check the council meeting that we just had, I did go over some of the schedule, and I'm going to plan to continue to review it as the events come up, because I cannot remember that entire paper. But I will say one of the close ones is March 31st. I believe is going to be Easter with the Easter egg hunt with the fire department. And we have the solar eclipse, which I think is April 8th. And I know that the library shared some information that they're going to have a party for that, and glasses available, I believe. And we would like to encourage some people to go and check out the new park and see what kind of viewing opportunities they have there. And then we have the yard sales that are coming up. So we're going to do one in the summer per usual, and then we're going to do one in the fall. And I would have to check the rest of the calendar to let you know. That's all I can remember off the top.
Don't worry, but I do know one of the concerts is going to be an Elvis tribute.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Here's the thing. How much Elvis do you know?
I don't know a lot.
Can you do a karaoke of Elvis?
You know, if I had the words in front of me, maybe, and I could maybe do a
Okay.
little leg jig.
So if I go to the concert, we're going to see you on stage doing a little bit of karaoke.
Not that far, but you might catch me off in the background somewhere.
Well, I know there's always a great lineup, and also
Yeah.
it really brings the community together.
Yes.
To come to these concerts, and the number they have, and the gentleman who puts it together does a tremendous job. And it's a real plus for the Greenhills community.
Yes, it is. It is. It's a good event.
Now, you also have another role. You're on our board here at Waycross.
Yes.
Let's talk about Waycross and your commitment. Why are you interested in being so involved with Waycross?
Well, actually, I was kind of voluntold when I joined council, but I'm happy to. I love Waycross, and I had reached out previously once we found out about Waycross about being able to volunteer, and my boys and I came out and had the classes. I'm kind of a nerd, and I love the fact that we still have this. I love the nostalgia about being able to go and see the previous recordings and things like that, and I think it's an awesome opportunity for our community members, not only to have the information made available to them and to be able to go and catch all of the games and things like that, especially I'm sure there are still some people that are hesitant to go out with COVID and the sicknesses and everything. So it's nice that they have that opportunity to go to Waycross Media and check out what's going on in the local events. And I hope to keep it going. I really want it to stay, and I love the work that was done by Chip and all of the staff. And again, guys have a good group here, so I just want to do what I can to help.
Well, Dana
continue it.
does a great job,
Yes.
and Tony and Nicholas
Yes.
and Tula. They kind of carry me, so that's the way it goes. You know, I'm the old guy on the block, but I'm enjoying it as well. But when you talk about Waycross, of course, it's connecting to the community.
Yes.
And that's what the council's about, is connecting that, having that connection.
The connection and the youth too. I love that there's the summer youth program, and I love that it's a positive way to allow the youth the convenience of technology and to get to learn new things without being attached to a game or, you know, the social media and things of that nature. So it's healthy for not only the community, but especially our youth.
Is there anything else you'd like to cover, Rachel?
Oh gosh, nothing that I can think of.
Except what are the names of your kids?
So Rosie is my youngest, and then Bryson is my middle child, and Briley is my oldest. So, yes.
Was it tough to come up with the names?
No. I found out I was pregnant with my daughter the same day that my grandma who raised me passed away suddenly. And so she's named after her, Rosemary, but we call her Rosie for short. And Briley and Bryson, they're just the names that stuck with me. So I love them. They're great kids. That's one thing I'll say too. I know moving here and being a parent, I was nervous about the school district. It gets kind of a bad rap. My boys have excelled at Winton Woods. They are honor roll students. They are in accelerated programs. I've loved the staff at Winton Woods. I will say I'm excited about a new superintendent, but I've loved the staff and all the interactions I've had, and I am just an advocate for our school as well.
I think that's great, and we are so glad that you're part of council, you're part of the board here at Waycross. Also, when the summer Elvis tribute concert comes out, I want to see you on the stage.
No pressure.
I'll be out there with you. I won't be singing, I'll just encourage you, okay?
Okay, all right.
Because you don't want to hear me sing. That's a disaster. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Talking with Greenhills, and it's really been a lot of fun and joy to talk to Councilwoman Rachel Hudson. I'm Kurt Radel, Waycross Community Media. Join us next time.